What up, my guys? Got to get another show going, man. Got to get the vibes going. It's Monday, new week, new money, man. New month as well, man. It is May 1st, my guys. Trying to get some cash. Hopefully, this month is better than the last month. I'm your host, Jay Money. It's Monday. We got our guy Brian Leonard from Wager Talk as well, man. Really good capper. He does baseball, hockey, basketball, all that good stuff, man. Probably doing some football as well, man. What's up with you, Brian? Everything cool with you?
Everything's good. Haven't started football yet. I've taken a few notes, but long time away. But yeah, you got to keep up on everything, man, all year round.
Yes, sir, man. Great capper. Y'all go check him out on Wager Talk. Ed Brian. We had him he's Brian Leonard, my guys. Check him out on Wager Talk. We had him on last week. I believe his third time on the show. Love having you on, man. Very knowledgeable basketball capper. We have two games today. We're gonna go over them, break them down, and then we're gonna get out of here, guys. Right. So two games today: Sixers, Celtics, and then we got Suns, Nuggets as well, guys. Let's get straight to it. It's all business here on the show. If you like the show, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. We'll be doing a night show as well tonight for the two games for tomorrow. Some early looks for the members, my guys. Let's get over here. First game up. Let's head over here to the streets of Boston in this one, guys. We do have the Celtics laying 9.5 points at the house versus the Philadelphia 76ers in this one, guys. Line was at 10 yesterday, guys. Be perfectly honest with you. I did put a little half unit on the Sixers plus the 10 yesterday. I'm not gonna lie, I thought we might see 11. I thought they would actually rule Embiid out today, and the line might go up to 11, but it did come down here. Even some 9 showing up, and I agree with the move here, guys. I did take the 10 with the 76ers. I think it's way too many, not way too many points, but I just feel like Brian in this spot that the Sixers with the rest, obviously rest versus rust, but plenty of time for them to scheme without Embiid over there. Obviously, they got owned by the Celtics this year. Celtics did go 4-0 against the spread versus the Sixers, depending on what you got the fourth game at, Brian. But how you looking at this game? Do you think the Celtics blow them out? Obviously, they shoot a lot of 3-pointers. Do you think they can smack them up, or can the Sixers keep it within double digits in this one?
Well, before the season came along, I bet Philadelphia to win it all. I thought there was a team that had some value. Unfortunately, you got your MVP player who's likely not going to play tonight, and that makes a really big difference. It makes a big difference not only for his stats, but for the rest of the team. If you take a look at the Philadelphia offense, they led the league in taking corner threes. 12.3% of their shots were from corner threes, and they were sixth in the NBA in shooting accuracy from that spot, 43.2%. They were overall number 2 in shooting accuracy from threes at 40.9 on the season. The problem you have is Embiid down low brings that out of this team. It's sort of like LeBron. You see that a lot of times with LeBron back when he was always going to the lane. Back in his Cleveland days, he'd be able to pass the ball out, and mediocre players for the Cavaliers would be able to hit those threes because they just didn't have anybody on them. And that's one of the big things that Philadelphia does. And so without him down there, down low, that's going to take away their offense. So that said, the line is too high here, at least in my opinion, and I agree with a slight line move for the underdog here. Boston's a better team, no doubt about it. Boston's playing at home, but to lay that kind of number, 9 points, is even too much without their best player. I think Philadelphia has to slow it down a little bit. They're not going to get those easy shots from three that they normally get. So slight lean with the under, slight lean with Philadelphia. As you said, Boston could come into this game a little bit confident based on how they played Philadelphia during the regular season. They're expected to win. They got their big favorite in this series, and they're playing at home. So Boston could come in a little bit fat and sassy, as our friend Marco D'Angelo would say. And that puts me on Philadelphia. It's I'm not giving this play out to clients. It's not one of my plays today. In fact, I passed on Monday today. But if I had to play it, that's the way I would take a look at it.
Yeah, give me the Sixers here plus 9.5 for a half unit, guys. I do think they can keep this game close. I'll be honest, man. I did have a little premonition, man, and a little dream last night that the Celtics won this game by exactly 6. I don't know why. I mean, I didn't. I mean, I sent it out to my guys way before that, but I don't. I'm sleeping last night, and I'm like, I woke up like, damn, did the game already happen? Listen, you know how you have one of those dreams and it feel like it happened. I had a dream that the Celtics won by exactly 6 points, man. So who knows? We'll see if some creepy stuff. If they win by 6, this will be the craziest shit ever, man. But I did put something, send out Sixers plus 10 yesterday, last night, I believe. So I'll go half unit on Sixers plus 9.5 for me, guys. They are rested. They've had, I believe, 8 or 9 days off. Now you could be rusty, but there's plenty of time for them to get ready. Know for a fact that they don't have Embiid out there, right? So 9.5 is just too many here. Obviously, the Celtics. Now I can't say the Sixers have played a little bit faster without Embiid. Now I can say this. Celtics do have a path to success here. If they drive to the paint, now we know this is a 3-point shooting team. If this is a 3-point variance team, I think the Sixers can keep it close. If the Celtics come to their senses and start driving to the paint every single time, sorry guys. Obviously, you have Paul Reed down there. He's nowhere near the rim protector as Joel Embiid is, but they hadn't seen Dedmon off the bench a ton. They're going to need some good minutes from Dedmon. Hopefully, Montrezl Harrell as well. Two players that hadn't been playing a lot of minutes for the Sixers, but hopefully they've been practicing, knowing that they're going to have to step in there for Embiid. So my whole thing is, can the Sixers hit threes, right? I do think that they can guard their guards. Obviously, Tatum is going to be a matchup nightmare. You're going to need Tobias Harris to play some good defense on him. But when it comes to guys like Maxey, DeAnthony Melton, I think they can hit enough threes, hit enough shots to stay in this game as well, guys. Obviously, you're going to need Harden to draw some fouls. You're going to need him to hit a few threes to get those assists up as well. But sometimes you see the star player going out, especially a slower tempo player like Joel Embiid. Sometimes the ball can pop even more, right? Because now you're not passing to him in the post. I know it opens it up for everybody else, but it can still pop a little bit more amongst the guards, right? Going to need PJ Tucker to be big in this series. Well, I know he's an older player, but he does usually show up in the playoffs. So nothing heavy for me, but I will go ahead and take the points with a much more rested team here, the team that can give a ton of more energy to the defensive end in this one. So give me a Sixers plus 9.5 for a half unit in this one, guys. Not saying it's an absolute lock. If you like the Celtics without a beat, I mean, hey, I couldn't talk you. I'll go with what you know, but I will take the Sixers in this first game with plenty of time to game plan without their star player getting close to double digits. This is a spot I'll take 100 times out of 100 and live with the results in this one, guys. So give me Sixers plus 9.5 for a half unit in this one. And Brian, you say you lean to the under. I personally was leaning to the over there, but obviously it's a 3-point variance game, right? If they're hitting their threes, this shit will fly over. They're not, it could go under, Brian. So you still under or nothing for you in this one, right?
Yeah, and you mentioned a great point about the variance in threes. A lot of times you'll see a team come out and they'll crush the opponent in game one or whatever, and then take a look at what they've done from the 3-point range. One team was hot, one team wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you always got to take a look at that when you're looking at the box scores, who overperformed or who underperformed from distance. And then you know, that's something I use in the following game, a little bit, some regression analysis, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, a lot of people say, oh, they killed him on the three. Well, they're not, just because they did it one time doesn't mean they're going to do it the next time. You know, the other team's making the adjustments. So sports is adjustment from one game to another, from one half to another. And hey, even in timeouts.
That's a fact right there. And I always say, I'll tell you guys, game ones are not my strong suit, guys. Game two and beyond is where I can really see the series for what it is. Game ones, it's kind of like a crapshoot. I mean, we're all guessing game one, guys. I can tell you that right now. You can throw off all the previous, the Sixers did win the last game. I know Embiid had to go for 52 points, but like I say, it's going to be different for the Celtics as well. Not having Embiid out there, you're going to see a totally different style play for the Sixers in this one. So let's see what happens. Let's see if the Celtics win this game by exactly 6 points. It would be the craziest thing ever, guys, I must say. Let's go over here to the streets of Denver here, guys. Next game up, last game up, we do have the Nuggets laying 4 points at the house versus the Phoenix Suns. This line was at 4.5 yesterday, guys. Obviously, the Nuggets won the first game by double digits pretty easily in that one. Kind of Suns kind of just fill them out, right, Brian? Like we say, game one is the guessing game. Suns, they come out there, they get ran off the court in high altitude. Do you think the Suns can come back with something in this one, make the right adjustments in this one, Brian? You think the Nuggets minus 4 is a spot, or can Suns keep it close here?
Yeah, you hit it on the nail when you talked about game ones. I'm the same way in just about any sport when it gets to the playoffs. I Game ones are a crapshoot because you don't know what the team is going to come out. Usually, I use a lot of rest factors in that. If one team, just played a 7-game series, and for example, like the Warriors or whatever, the Warriors just played that 7-game series and took it all out of them, and then now they got to, some teams got to travel, that kind of thing, and it's some good spots. But normally, when you're doing that, you're paying the price for it because that's what everybody else is looking at. So,
Right.
But I think we're going to see a different game out of Phoenix here. Keep in mind, when teams go into Denver, especially in the playoffs, with the altitude and all, that first game is major. But once you're in there, in that altitude, the second game shouldn't have as much of a differential in the altitude for the road team. They've been there. They've been there a few days now, and so I expect that not to be the case here, where Denver takes advantage of that. And that's one of the things Denver has done. You live in Denver, you know how that is. I've been up in Boulder and I see these guys running around on their bicycles. And I go, these guys are crazy, man. It's hard to breathe up here, but that's why they train. You see all the bicyclists, they all do that, and they go up in the mountains, and that's what they do. And it's amazing what altitude will do for you. In fact, Major League Baseball in Mexico City, the last couple of days, the teams are playing, and we're getting totals of 20 and a half. So ball flies, it's different. Air's different up there in Denver. And I've always looked for Denver when they're playing the first game of a series at home. It's a big advantage. Now that Phoenix has been there, I think we see a different situation out of Phoenix here. And keep in mind, these players for Phoenix, the really good players for Phoenix, have not played a lot of time together this year. Right. I believe it was I think I read 19 games the Stars have played together so far this season. A lot of these teams in the NBA, and one of the reasons why I'm not as big of an NBA fan as I used to be, is the load management. Now you got to the point where in the playoffs, everybody should be playing, unless you're unless you're the Clippers, where everybody got hurt again in the playoffs. It didn't matter. But you're finding this where these guys come out and they're a different team than you saw during the regular season. Phoenix off a blowout loss. They're going to come out fighting tonight. The line opened 4.5. It's down to 4 now. I think Phoenix is probably my best bet on the card in any sport for today's action.
Yeah, I like it. I didn't bet the Suns, guys, but I think this is a Suns spot. As a person that feels like the Suns have a real shot at winning the series in this one, this is a game 2 spot where I feel like they come and make the necessary adjustments. And it's kind of crazy because the Nuggets kind of bullied the Suns in the first game. You see Jokic going down one-on-one in the paint, kind of bullying them. I don't view the Nuggets as a bully type of team. I view them as a fluent offense type of team, and the Suns just weren't ready for all the options, right? They're just coming out facing the Clippers, who were more of a defensive style type of team that was like just basically driving to the basket every time. They didn't really have shooters. Now you're playing the Nuggets. You got Jamal Murray, you got MPJ, even Gordon can shoot the 3 as well, Jokic. So you're having to go up against a team that has an array of shooters. I feel like the Suns going to come back here with make the necessary adjustments. Could they go down 0-2? It's very possible. Obviously, I'll be on the Suns pretty heavily in game 3 if that happens, but I think this is a 7-game series. I didn't bet this game. I'll watch it. But something tells me the Suns come out here with a much better game plan in this one. And like Brian said, this is second. They were here a few days before as well, getting ready for the altitude. But it didn't matter in the game 1. You can't really simulate a game in practice, right? So now that they've played the game, they know how it's going to be. They know how they need to save their energy for the fourth quarter. In this one, I do view the Suns as a little bit better closing team than the Nuggets are. We've seen time and time and again the Nuggets kind of squander leads, or when it comes down to it, it's a close game now. It's coming down to the last bucket. I trust Chris Paul, Kevin Durant, and Book. One thing I saw with Kevin Durant is we knew this already. Durant is a matchup nightmare. Once he gets in his head, hey, I'm gonna score every single time I get the ball, they don't have a person on their team that can stop Kevin Durant. Devin Booker, I feel like they have some guys that can guard him. Chris Paul, he's gonna guard himself. The age is gonna get to him, guys. Father time is undefeated, right? But Kevin Durant, he could go off for 40 points either one of these games, in my opinion. He's just an absolute matchup nightmare for him. Where his release point on shooting the ball, you just can't really defend his shot, guys. So I do lean Suns here plus the 4. This isn't a game that I bet. I would look towards possibly another over here, Brian. Like I say, the Suns are going up against a much better offensive team, so you kind of have to run and gun with the Nuggets because obviously the Nuggets, they're more of an offensive team. They can play some defense, but not to the caliber of the Clippers, in my opinion. So what do you think about another over here, Brian, or more points? First half over, full game overs. We saw that first one fly over the total as well, Brian. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, I can see that. You mentioned the matchup problems. When you got what could be and probably is the best player in the league, and he's the size that he is and the athleticism that he has. I mean, I'm an old man. I remember back in the 70s when you guys handling the ball were 6 foot and 6'2", and anybody who was 7 foot was Mark Eaton or whatever. These big guys are just a load, That's not the case anymore. They're growing athletes differently now than they did when I was young.
Yeah, that's a fact there. Now, KD, it's his series, man. It's if you want to ball out or not. If you want to make it to the next round, it's up to KD, in my opinion. You're not going to get that much. You're still going to need Booker and Chris Paul, and you're going to need somebody off the bench as well. They're going to have to start. I know people don't like it, but they got to start playing Terrence Ross or TJ Warren, if not both of them. They got to give some confidence into one of them because that's who can kind of give them the bench edge over the Nuggets bench. Nuggets are a great home team, but some tells me the Suns can keep this one a little bit closer tonight, guys. I lean Suns here plus the 4. I do agree with the move coming down. I feel like a lot of people are just like taking the Nuggets once again, and they could be right, but the line did come down from 4.5 to 4, so they probably tell us maybe some of those bigger, more respected bets are coming on the Suns here in Game 2. I do see this being somewhat of a zigzag type of series, so I lean Suns here plus the 4. I didn't bet it. It's a pretty close spread because basically we be asking the Suns to win this game outright, right? But it's definitely possible. I'd lean to the over again, but I do think the Suns will have a little bit better game plan here. They saw what the Nuggets want to do now it's time for them to counter, right? That's what the playoffs are about. It's about the counter adjustments in this one. So lean towards the Suns plus the 4. I said it was going to be a zigzag series before the series started, and I think it's going to go that way. And I still have a small belief that the Suns can win this series, guys. So Suns plus the 4, that's the way I'll be looking at this one. I didn't bet it, guys. Let's get up out of here, man. It's time to go over to the free picks, man. Brian, what do you got to promote over at Wage Talk? I know you got some NHL plays going, my guy, and baseball as well, right, Brian? You say you're doing baseball. Brian, were the totals really 20.5 in Mexico City?
Yeah,
my God.
The first game, they opened up 8.5, and then it went all the way to 15.5, and then they scored 27 runs. Damn. So the next game, it was up to 20.5, and then, of course, you had better pitchers on the mound, and they understood it a little bit. But that first game in Mexico City, one team had, or actually the two teams combined, 10 guys hit home runs. 10 different guys hit home runs. One guy hit 2. But how often do you see a game where 10 different players hit home runs? That tells you what the altitude will do, man.
That's crazy. That's crazy right there. So one of the totals went from 8.5 to 15.
15.5, yeah.
That is.
I might 8.5 obviously was a bad number. They didn't realize that wasn't there long. But yeah, it's crazy when you have games played someplace where they don't normally do. Have games like we've seen that in London with the grass on the fields because they play a lot of soccer there, and it messes up the field and everything. So you got to be aware of all that kind of thing.
No, that's a fact there. Brian, what do you have going over at Wage Talk plays and any play for us today on the show?
Yeah, the best play on the show is the Phoenix game for myself. I'm passing today. Opinion on a few, but there wasn't nothing strong enough for me to bet. I did have both underdogs in the hockey yesterday and got some nice paybacks on that. But yeah, really looking forward to the hockey playoffs. We've done very well since I've been starting handicapping hockey 6 years ago. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at B Leonard Sports. And appreciate being on the show once again.
Yes, sir. Anytime, Brian. He's liking for he didn't love anything on the card for today, but would go with the Suns plus the Forest top lane. I would agree with him there as well. I didn't bet it, but I do lean to the Suns. Hey, I got a little sunset going on behind me right now, guys. Some I did bet for. Also, Brian's doing hockey and baseball as well, guys. So I know we don't bet it here. This is the NBA. If you'd like to go get some picks from our guy Brian, you can go follow him on Twitter at B Leonard Sports or go check him out at Wager Talk. In that one for me today, guys. One play half unit for me. Sixers plus 9.5 in this one, guys. Personally, did get on some plus 10 yesterday, but I'll go. We only talk about the official numbers that's right now on the show, guys. So for the show, I'll go with a half unit on Sixers plus 9.5 in this one. Something tells me the Sixers win. I mean, the Celtics win this game by 6 points, man. So let's see what happens. But I did bet it before I had that dream in that way. Let's go, Maxey Melton. Harden, gonna need some threes from you. PJ Tucker, gonna need a couple threes from y'all ass tonight, man. Play some defense, and I think they can keep this game close. You've been owned by the Celtics so far this year. Now you got 8-9 days to prepare without Embiid. This is your time to try to come and show that you can hang with the Celtics in this one. You have the this is time you're going to get the most rest as well. Celtics coming off a 6-game series, hoping for a little bit of mental fatigues there. Nothing's guaranteed, guys. I always say bet whatever you absolutely love. It's been a crazy playoffs. I can't talk you off just watching the game and finding an in-play bet in game as well, guys. Cannot talk you off that, man. So I always want to let people know you don't absolutely have to bet. Definitely don't have to bet when I'm telling you guys. Definitely won't hit it 100%, but I do come on here every single day letting you guys know what I bet. Half unit on for me, Sixers plus 9.5 / to 10 in this one. Let's get some cash. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll be doing the night show tonight at, I believe, 12:30 Eastern, my guys, 10:30 my time, and knowing might try to go halftime of that Nuggets Suns games, guys. But appreciate everybody for tuning in. Let's get some cash. Hit the like button, subscribe to the show, join as a member, all that good stuff. If you would choose to, let's get some cash. We're out, man. Go follow us, our guy B Leonard Sports on Twitter. You can follow me as well at J Money is Money. We out, guys. Let's go. Let's get some cash.